Hi everyone, my name's Ricky. I'm one of the teachers here at LEYF, and today I'm going to be showing you a real simple technique to make some bread at home. All you need is 4 ingredients. So we have 450 grams of strong white flour, we have a teaspoon of salt, 7 grams of dried yeast, and 40 grams of melted butter, and 300 millilitres of warm water. It's really important that the water is warm, and we'll come on to that a little bit later. With this as well, we only need 3 items: a bowl, a dishcloth, and a baking tray, because we're not using a tin for this loaf. Let's get started. Now, this loaf is an all-in-one method. So in each corner of your bowl, we place the 3 items. So your salt, your yeast, and your butter. This is where the fun bit begins. This is where we start to put in the warm water. If the water is cold, the yeast is not going to activate, and if the water is too hot, it will also then kill the yeast from activating. So that's why it has to then be warm. So all we do is we start pouring a little bit at a time, and this is where we get nice and messy, and we just start mixing. After mixing it for about 5 minutes, we'll get a dough-like consistency like this. We need some extra flour for dusting and sprinkling. So we put this all over our table, nice and light, like it's snowing. We then start kneading. Now we do need to keep the bowl for when we're doing proving of the dough, which we'll come on to a little bit later. Next, we start to knead the dough, pulling at the dough to then get the gluten activated, making sure it's all mixed in with the flour. We'll do this between 5 to 10 minutes until we can start seeing ourselves through the dough. So after kneading for about 5 to 10 minutes, we'll have a nice ball of dough. So next is to prove the dough, which allows the gluten to expand and the bread will double in size. So what we're going to do is, in our bowl, we're just going to slightly grease it with the remaining of the butter. We'll place the dough into the bowl and we cover. So we leave this covered between 1 to 2 hours until it's doubled in size, and then we'll knock the air out of it. Now that our dough has had time to rise, you can see it's doubled in size. So what we're going to do next is we're going to knock out all the air and put it for its second proof. So what we just need to do is put some flour on the surface again, a little bit of flour on our dough, and we're going to pull it all out, and we're going to knock the air out. So then once we've knocked all the air out, we just fold in underneath, so we have a nice good round bowl, like such. And we now put it on our baking tin. We cover for 30 minutes, and then it'll be ready to go in the oven. So now that it's had its further 30 minutes to prove, it's doubled in size again. We're now going to put it into the oven for 20 to 35 minutes on 220, which works out to be our gas mark 6, before it's seen in a minute. Now that it's out of the oven, had time to cool, it's ready to eat. But before we eat it, a good way to test that it's cooked is to turn it over and give it a little tap. If you hear a hollow sound, it means it's cooked all the way through. Hope you enjoy. Bye.